Yes, hello, YGG fam. We are here once again on your Wednesday for another YGG Global Hangout. As always, for the foreseeable future, I'm joined by our co host, Faya. Faya, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. So far, the week has been good to me, and yeah, been the class as well.
Yeah, it's quite busy, right? Like you're not only jumping around as head moderator for YGG Global, you're now streaming with me as a co-host, but
Yeah,
also you do a lot with the game testing as well, correct?
yeah. I'm balancing both right now, and thankfully it's summer.
That's right. Summer in the Philippines. Although to me, for somebody who's from Canada, it's always summer in the
No,
Philippines when I'm over there because you guys don't get snow. So, but yeah, glad to hear. I'm wondering, are you excited for our guest today? We were chatting a little bit earlier about it, and this is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to when it comes to gaming.
yeah, yep. I'm excited because I have like some clarification as well because I've been doing this quest for a while and only one complete for now.
Got it. So maybe Tucker's got some tips on how to
Yeah.
complete these other quests. So I kind of leaked it there, but we are going to have Tucker from the Audius team come on. So let me bring him on stage. And Tucker, how are you doing today?
Hey y'all, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to chat with everyone today.
Yeah, it's gonna be, like I said, a little bit of a first for us. We're usually used to gaming, but we'll kind of run this like we do with future of work and AI and stuff. But you are the first audio platform that we are going to be talking about, and I think one of the really first in the blockchain space to kind of innovate here and use the technology and integrate it so seamlessly with some really big names. So I will give you the floor to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the general overview of Audius.
Cool, yeah. I'm Tucker from Audius, obviously, but I live in the States. I've been working at Audius for close to 4 years now. Been pushing along the decentralized music community, and mainly like Audius started back in like 2019, went live on mainnet in 2020, and folks basically just wanted to kind of innovate on SoundCloud and Spotify and these other things out there that are kind of like harming artists, not necessarily getting them in right front of the right people, kind of just not necessarily having them being direct to fans and consumers. And Audius is that place where you can come on for free, join. You don't really have anybody telling you what you can and can't do. It's all open, completely free to use, and you don't have to do anything to get started. That's the cool part. And really, it's all utilizing the blockchain. And yeah, there's no middleman in between. And I'm really excited to get into it and talk about the nitty gritty details.
Excellent. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Like we've been talking about how much blockchain technology can change like the gaming space, but it really goes far and beyond that, right? Like as you
Mhm.
said, Audius is mainly for artists and for music, but we see this idea that it could pretty much touch any facet of stuff and really bridge that gap between artists and the user base or their fans
Mhm.
to create a more organic kind of approach or connection between the two.
Right. And like one cool thing like that I should have touched on a little bit ago is like with the openness of Audius and the gaming space, they're very closely connected and people might not realize it. But we have like this API and SDK that these game developers can utilize and kind of build upon to utilize the Audius music catalog within their video game space. And all of that is completely free to use and everything. So like think of it where the artist can decide if they want to be included in this feature set or not. So it's not like you have access to 100% of the songs 100% of the time. But if an artist is wanting to be a part of this and wants their music to be discovered in that way, people can utilize this in their video games and their web apps. It doesn't really matter. You can use it for whatever you want.
Oh, really cool. So essentially, an artist can opt into essentially royalty-free music, right? And
Yes.
people, game developers, or even YouTubers, right, could automatically just pull it from your catalog and use it without any fear of legal repercussions.
Uh, there is a little difference between a YouTube streamer or something like someone like that using it compared to a game developer. So basically, the what the difference is, the game developer is going to come in and pull this, and they're going to be curating stuff, or the end user is going to be curating stuff, whereas the streamer is just having it in the background and different stuff like that. It is a little different, but one is using code to pull things, and the other is just going into a tab and pulling it.
Got it. But that's still feasible, right?
Right.
Or
It is. It is. It's the same concept, just in a different manner.
got it. Got it. Okay. Good distinction there. So just tell us a little bit about like how Audius itself came to be. Like I'm a little interested in that story because it's not every day that you see something pop up. We've seen a lot of obviously games pop up in the space, and they always have these really cool backgrounds or stories where the founder is like, "Oh, I met this guy," or "I've always had this dream." Do you know what the story behind Audius is?
I do. It's really fun actually. So the two founders, Forrest and Reneel, they both went to Stanford University out in California, and about 2016, they both realized that, or they were both really big SoundCloud users. They were both fans of the EDM scene that was growing rapidly in Stanford's general area in the Bay. And realistically, SoundCloud was starting to go really downhill. They were starting to charge their artists for different things. They couldn't upload a ton of songs, and there was all these different middlemen getting in between and causing friction between artists and the platform. So they tried to find a way basically to build a platform that allowed their favorite EDM artists to put their music out there without fear of repercussion. And that's kind of where Audius started from. And the general idea was back in 2016, even, is where when these two college kids were like, "Hey, we want to do something for our friends in this community that we're already a part of, and make it better and make it bigger." And then 2019 rolls around, and they made it a reality, and actually was able to build some software and raise some funds and actually build a team.
Super cool. Yeah, like it's funny that we hear so many people like I have a few friends from Stanford myself, and it's really amazing to see what comes out of these
Mhm.
big universities and kind of the minds behind it because like they're always innovating on certain things. And as you said, like SoundCloud used to be really like the underground kind of music thing, right? You'd post it there
Right.
and,
You
and,
blow
and
up on
people would
SoundCloud, you get a record deal the next day. Like
exactly.
art, like when I was in high school, like 12, when I was 12 years old to like 17, like that's all you did was you listen to SoundCloud. Like your buddy was a SoundCloud rapper. Like every single person and their mom was on SoundCloud.
Exactly, and if you blew up on SoundCloud, like you said, that was your ticket to the big leagues. But I guess I didn't realize how much that had changed, that they had been
Mhm.
charging people. But that's kind of, I guess, how it goes, right? These underground platforms either get bought out by a big conglomerate, or they've got to figure out how they can monetize, and usually that
Right.
ends up harming the little guys, right? The small artists that are trying to break out.
Hmm. Yep, and that's kind of what the key feature of like decentralization and the blockchain comes into effect when it comes to the music industry on and kind of innovating that into crypto.
Got it. So let's pull up the screen here. Uh, Faya, thank you for sharing your feed. We're gonna see what kind of music you're looking at or into. But Tucker, as we jump in here, so just tell us what we're looking at here, what features we can do. So obviously, when you're signing up, you can go to audius.co. That will take you
Mhm.
to the website. You've obviously got various options. You can download the app on your phone, whether it's Android or iOS. There's a desktop app as well, and there's also a web-based app, which is what we're looking at right now. All you've got to do is sign up for a free account, right? You put it in your email, you tick what you kind of like, and then you'll be brought to this page. So what are we looking at
Yep.
here?
So right here, this is going to be your search and explore page. So really, this is what you're going to be dropped into day one. You're not going to be following but a couple artists from the sign up flow, and you don't really know what's going on. So we want to throw you in front of like all of the playlists that we love, all of the artists that we love that are kind of active in the platform, that are uploading consistently. And you're going to find all of that on the first all tab, and that's going to show you the community playlists that we love, and then also the remix contests that are currently active in the community. So if you're a music creator, a producer, a vocalist, anything like that, you can go into these contests and then just come and integrate or sorry, let me take a step back. You can come into these contests and then download the stems and produce a new song, create a new song, or take the song it is and then add your vocals to it or something to that effect and just have fun and join the community in that aspect. And you might end up winning some money or some other prizes.
Cool. So that's kind of like, I don't know, when you say remix, so you can remix the song your
Mhm.
own way, or maybe you could sample it too. I guess sampling and
Yeah.
remixing are pretty similar.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So this example we have here is a little different than a standard remix contest, I would say. But the older ones are standard remix contests. It's where this artist comes in, they have this song that they're really proud of, they put up the stems, and they want to see what the community can do with them. So basically, what happens is they put up these stems, and there's just different sections of the song. So the drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals, they're all separated out, and that way folks can then take them and do whatever they want with them, add their own vocals to it, add some other stems that they have already made to it, and then just make it its complete own new thing. So you'll see, like, you can download them all right there, and if you go down to the bottom you can see who won the contest actually and what the prizes were, and then all the comments and everything else is available there. But this one ended a couple weeks ago, and basically we had a couple people enter, and then there's one winner. And then
Cool.
now current. Oh,
I'm just trying to see here, like, is it possible for us, Thea, if you were to play that, let's see if this is blaringly loud on your end, because this would play the sample or the part that you're going to remix, correct?
yes. For this song, I think it is or for this one, I think it is just spoken word saying what to do, because this is for the chance to become the introduction song for the Coin Telegraph podcast. So what they're wanting is basically for folks to come in here and just make a unique song for their podcast. And
Oh,
there's not really any kind of song or audio to back it up other than just spoken word.
that's really cool, actually, because we are friends of Cointelegraph, and we've got some friends, Leah and Nathan from Infarsis, who are journalists that do a lot of posts on Cointelegraph. So super cool to kind of see this, and I'm assuming like anyone can really partner with you and ask for these things or contests to be thrown up on your
Oh, that's a great
platform.
question. So this is kind of I'm going to jump ahead early here, or jump ahead a little bit here. This is kind of one of the newer things that we've been working on, and are still working on. There's a couple more things coming for it, but the whole remix contest has been around in Audius since the very beginning. But some of the like cool new features, like what we're looking at now, is this little modal, weren't there previously. So like before, all you could see was just the submissions, and they would furl up underneath of the original remix track. And now that we have this actually fully built remix contest feature in the platform, folks are able to list full long descriptions, details about what the prize or what the contest is, how it works, what it's going to be, and then also list the prizes alongside with that, and what all those are going to be, who's going to win, how many winners are going to be there, and what you get out of it. And then that last tab is going to be your submissions, and that's going to be who all has entered this contest. And whoever creates the contest has to set an end date. And once that end date comes, this submission tab is going to turn into a winners tab, and that the original poster is going to select a winner and then give out the prizes. And all of this is completely permissionless inside of Audius. So if you want to do it today, you're more than welcome to come in, create your profile, and do it. So there's nothing holding you back.
So essentially, if I wanted a really cool opening song or ending song for this stream, let's say, I could make my own contest for it.
100%. You could do it right as soon as we get off of here, and it could start within 5 minutes.
Excellent. So in those submissions there, can people hear those
Yes.
tracks right
So
now?
yeah, so if you click on those, click on the title of the track or just the profile, you can go into it. It's just an upload on another artist's profile. And the only thing that signifies this as a remix is that whenever you upload, there's a little tab that you click. It says like, is this a remix of another song? And you say yes, and then you add the URL of that original track, and you're going to be able to see it'll furl it up underneath that original track just there with all the other submissions. And that way, the original poster, the runner of this remix contest, can come in and just go through them all and listen to them all very easily.
Now, I don't think the sound's gonna work. Can we try that again, Faya? I don't know if the sound works on the
Yeah, it
screen
looks like
share.
The sound
Twitch
work.
is having some sound.
Well, the sound will work for you on your end, Faya, but I don't know if it's gonna
Oh,
come through ours. Yeah, that's one of the things for
um,
restream. When you screen share, I don't think it shares the audio. Yeah, which is unfortunate, but we'll make do.
mm,
I will put back the other background music for the stream, but at least people get an idea and the fact that they can actually listen to the remixes. And I'm just wondering here, Tucker, do you eventually have like an idea to for contest hosts to actually have public contests where users can vote on who wins versus just the creator gets to decide?
It's a great question. We haven't talked about that too much just yet. Um, it's definitely in the future. It's definitely in the cards. Like I don't see why it wouldn't be there eventually. At the time, it's not there today, so that's not something that is feasible in the product at the moment. But you never know in the future; it could very easily pop in.
Super cool. Yeah, so I think we got a little bit off topic there, but that
We did.
was a very, very super cool thing to see. Where you can host these remix contests and the fact that they're completely open to anyone. So if you're, I could see this being used by a lot of streamers that want, their own music created but not quite sure how to go about it. I guess you could go on Fiverr or something like that, but I'd much rather it be on like a hosted audio platform.
Right, right, and you can just pay them directly from there, and it'd be completely done deal.
Exactly, right? So let's circle back here and go back. So obviously we're back to your feed and you're looking at artists there.
Mhm.
So let's go back to, I guess, like we said, we had explore. So explore is where you will find obviously community playlists, which are, I'm assuming, I'm gonna compare a lot of this to Spotify because that's what I'm just
Yeah,
most familiar with, right? So I'm assuming these are like your made playlists for certain things. So like workout playlists, whatever you want, whatever
extent.
kind of.
They're the same vein as that, but they're not like necessarily tied to a specific activity like you would see on the Spotify like AI DJ or something to that effect. These are more curated by individuals that are just active on the platform that are super engaged. So if you go to the community playlist and you see that hot takes on the very first one, and you click on that, that's by Kato on the track. He's one of our most popular artist on the platform and very, very involved with the community, always running different contests, different activations within. Like last night specifically, he runs a Twitch stream to where he takes submissions from people on Audius and listens to their songs live and gives them feedback and what he thinks of them. And I think he's got like over 600, 700 submissions for last night's episode. It went on for like 3 or 4 hours, just him and his buddies sitting there listening to people's music for fun. And people loved it. So just getting to see him be involved more and more and more and getting other people involved just because of that. And people that like the tracks on his play or on his stream make it to his playlist. So he adds the most liked tracks and different things like that. So that's also could be an aspect to where people are voting on things from the community that we kind of mentioned earlier.
Cool. Yeah, so he's definitely one of the bigger ones. The name sounds super familiar to me.
Mhm.
But maybe do you just want to kind of touch on some of the other big names that are helping you guys grow or backing you?
Yeah, so another one earlier that was from us from the start is Steve Aoki. He's been around for a few years. He's been very popular in the NFT space and as well as in just music in general. But he did a special launch with us with his NFT collection a few years back, and where you had to have his NFT to listen to the track. And yeah, it went great. People loved it, and it was special to his community. And so that's another cool thing that you can do and just get involved with your community. Just basically is giving them special things, and they can only get it if they're a part of your community.
Yeah, got it. And I'm assuming that's why that collectibles tab is kind of there in the right? So you've got your tracks,
Yeah.
obviously got your albums, your playlists, your reposts. I guess reposts is more if like there's another artist that you're a fan of yourself and you want to share their
Mhm.
music alongside
Well,
them.
you can think of reposts similar to a like a retweet or something like that on X. to where like saying it's just kind of like saying like, hey, I like this song, I love this, like I want other people to hear it or other people to see it.
Got it. So for somebody like Steve, who's really big, right? That could be a really cool way
Exactly.
to like hit one of the underground artists and get them some more exposure. Got it.
Exactly. Like those kind of reposts are huge. So like for the remix contest we talked about earlier, if the original poster of the remix contest, the creator of it, repost one of the submissions, it's going to be considered a cosign, and that's going to basically give you a check mark on your song saying like, hey, this was approved and this was like liked by the original creator of this music.
Oh, okay. So it's a way to like verify that people aren't, I guess, ripping like
Exactly.
certain samples or stuff like that without the permission of the original creator.
Right. And it's kind of just like a tip of the hat to them as well.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, let's go back to your feed. I just want to see if kind of what's popping up. So obviously when you first join Audius, you've got to choose 3 artists to follow. But after that, like I guess your feed just keeps adding based on who you're following, and then whenever they update or add a new track, it would pop up
Yep.
here.
Yeah, so you can think of your feed as your timeline in another sense, like a social media page. So you can think of Audius as this music platform, but we also have a lot of social features and stuff like that we'll get into here in a minute. But your feed is going to be all posts, which is considered these original posts, which are uploaded directly by who you follow, or repost. So if you follow someone and they repost something, it's going to show up on your feed if you're on the all post or the repost tab. So that way, you're not going to miss a single thing that your friends and your followers like and just want you to see. Or you're just going to get this new exposure to these things that the Audience account is reposting or someone else is reposting that you might not have ever heard of before. So, a lot of times, what I'll like to do is I'll go to my original post tab first and listen to those from the day or the new things that I haven't caught up with. And then I'll go to the repost tab and see what new things are being exposed to me for that day. And like maybe I found a new artist that I like that I didn't follow previously.
Got it. So it's kind of like this is again really taking that original idea that SoundCloud had, but distilling it and making it, again, more user friendly and not paid
Exactly.
or paid to deal
Exactly.
with,
Like
right?
everyone can come up and upload as many things as they want for free. Like you don't have to pay after 2 hours of music uploads. You don't have to no monthly subscription, and there's really like no reason for you not to upload like everything that you're trying out. So like one thing we highly encourage is for artists to upload their works in progress, their samples that they tried out and didn't really like in that song, like just anything that you've created, you should be uploading and just labeling it what it is. But let your community like kind of go through that whole process with you. Let them understand like, hey, this is where the song actually started at, and now you get 2 years later, you get to see like the final product. So a good example of that is Skrillex. He uploaded a song on Audius probably 3 or 4 years ago now, and it was just a work in progress. And this his past album that he just released this year, it ended up being a final product. And it was just really cool to see that come to fruition to where it's like, hey, this was a crazy song that he just did in the night a few years ago, and then now this year it's on his full fledged album, but just a little differently. But we got to see it first in its first edition.
Yeah, exactly. And again, another very very big artist, obviously Skrillex. Who doesn't know Skrillex from the big dubstep era back in the day? I guess dubstep's still pretty big, but definitely not as huge
Just
as it.
changing names. Back in the day when we were growing up, it was just dubstep, and now it's probably got 150 different genres for different types of drum patterns and things. Like it's really cool to see how into the people get.
Exactly. Now, on the talks of monetization and stuff, maybe let's just dive into that, because obviously any platform needs to monetize to stay around, right? There needs to be
Exactly.
something along that lines. How are you guys doing it? Obviously ethically and to
Yeah.
keep the lights on at
So
Audius.
yeah, so like right now, the big thing is, it's where artists can sell directly to fans, and that's kind of the monetization pattern for artists, specifically where you go and list a song for sale. think of it like iTunes or Bandcamp or something to that effect, to where you can list it for $1, you can list it for $100,000. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to sell something for, whatever you think it will sell for, you're able to sell it for, and really that way folks can just basically sell their music for what they want, what they think it's worth, and earn a wage that way. And basically the fee structure is what makes it competitive. So when you look at Bandcamp or something to that effect, artists are taking home about 70 to 75% of what they make, and that's if they're 100% independent and don't have a label behind them or a manager or anything else that's any other middleman, they're taking a cut. On Audius, if you're completely independent and have no one else taking a cut, you're going to take home 90% of your earnings. So that's where it gets competitive, and that's the difference between this. And that's kind of why blockchain and crypto are making this possible. And the whole fee structure and everything is how we want to get this pushed out to artists and want them to see it become successful.
Now, I just had an idea pop into, well, not an idea, a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about AI generated music? Because that's obviously a really big thing right now. Like, are you guys for it? Like, are you?
Yeah, so like that's a great thing. Like I wouldn't say Audius has a stance on any type of music or any type of music creation. We're just here to serve the artist, and we're here to host that music and that content. So one cool thing is like Grimes, for example, has said publicly that they're willing to let anyone train AI on their music to then create new music. So in that aspect, we want to allow artists to be able to like say, hey, this is an AI song created by this or by me from this collective of artists, or this artist specifically, who said that I could do this. And what we've done is allowed profiles to have a tag on them to say like, hey, you can use my music to create AI art, so, or AI music. So if you go into your settings, you're able to basically tag the setting on to where it's like, hey, my profile and everything uploaded to it is completely trainable by AI, and you don't have to worry about me ever coming after you. So like that's one cool thing here. But we're never going to turn away someone because they're creating music with AI, as long as they're doing it legally and in creative manners that are not infringing upon copyrights or any kind of IP.
Cool. So it's something that you guys have already thought of and have already tackled. Cool.
Oh yeah, yep.
Because I was just thinking about it. Like, I'm by no way, like, I can't create music for squat, but
I'm the same way.
generated a few AI songs.
I'm the same way. I like to get like basically go to remix contest, get their stems and rearrange them. I can't create music myself, but I really enjoy the like creation process after the original, like the actual music score has been created.
Yeah. Super cool. Okay. Thanks, Faya. Yeah, there's a lot of settings for you to manage in there if you're a creator.
Yeah.
And
AI.
another cool thing is if you're a creator and you do have a manager, you can you can give your manager your account and say, here, you manage this. I don't want to touch it. This is what I pay you for. And let it be that.
I'm just reading a question that Dung popped up, and I'm just trying to like translate it here. Will Audius have an AI DJ like Spotify? I think is what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Audius doesn't have one right now, and there is some community stuff going on around that. I know. So there's some folks in the community trying to get that together, and we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, I think we were talking a little bit, well, just a bit earlier about like the copyright and the use of it, right? And you guys have an API that's available.
Right, and
so
that's exactly what's going on here. A lot of folks that utilize and build with that API just are trying to have fun and create some cool things with AI using Audius as the source. So a lot of things will hopefully come out of that. We'll get some cool little features that Mike can add it into the product down the line.
Yeah, where people, whether it's video games or just people trying to have it, are able to pull from that API and have really, really cool music. And then obviously as an artist on an Audius, you can opt in or opt out of that, right?
Correct.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about your token. So we were talking about monetization and stuff like that. How does the Audius token play into that?
Yeah, so the monetization side of it, it plays into it where that, you know how I said earlier, the 90-10% split we have with the payment router and different purchases going on Audius. That 10% is basically given back to the DAO. So, and then funneled through back to stakers and different routes around that. So that's essentially where that 10% goes and how that's looped back into the system and how all that comes into play. The token itself is basically a secure is where it uses we use the token in the nodes to secure the network. So behind the scenes, Audius has this robust system of node operators and different things. You can think of them as validators, as you would see like on Solana, Ethereum, different things like that, where you stake your tokens and you provide security to the network. And that's a real big thing for Audius, to where you go, you stake your tokens, and you get a percentage of the inflation back in return, and then you also get a percentage of the fees generated on the platform because of the payment router structure. And one cool thing is you have to put up about 200,000 audio tokens to run one of these nodes. And what's cool about these nodes is that's how Audius runs completely. Everything that you see on Audius is stored on these nodes in one capacity or another. The music, the metadata, the text, the anything. So we have two node types. One is content node, one is a discovery node. And most of the time, whenever you're using Audius, you're going to be talking to these things called discovery nodes. And that's going to be what holds all the text data, the metadata, the all the stuff that you see and interact with, and basically how you come to be and discover music on Audius. Hence, discovery nodes. And then the next node is where all the music is held, and that's where the big boys and lots of terabytes of music and data. And those discovery nodes then talk to the other nodes to then facilitate a play stream for a user, and then report that back to the protocol and increase statistics as they're needed.
Wow. So you guys are truly using blockchain technology. Like it
Yeah.
all of this runs on blockchain. It's not
Mhm.
just you trying to use a fancy gimmick. You guys are actually building on it and using it
Yeah,
properly.
yeah, no, that's one cool thing about Audius that I've always really admired, even before I started with the company, is that it's always been a tech first product, a user first product, to where the artist is always put first, and really the token and stuff has never been a like. It wasn't done just to have it. Really, like it has a use, it has a need, and all those node operators prove it every day.
Very, very, very cool. Now, Faya, let's go over to your library because I did want to highlight this. It was just brought to my attention by you, but I see that we have a YGG community member as an artist there. So who is that, Faya? Tell us what we're looking at here.
This is Yanda, moderator in YGG also, and she uploaded.
And
Just
unfortunately,
give
we can't hear it.
um Yanda, if you can drop the link. But yeah, she uploaded our theme song and our guild, and yeah.
Yeah, I think you can just and Tucker, you can tell me if I'm right here. Let's say I want to link this to somebody in Discord. Is there an easy? Well, okay, I see the share button there. You would click
Yep.
share.
Yeah. And then just copy the link and paste it around. Or if you click into the song, like the top title or the title, play it forward, you can just copy the URL from the top.
Cool. So Faya, let's drop that. We're gonna drop that into the Discord, guys, so that you can go check that out. Again, good excuse to go over there, sign up for an Audius account, so you can hear what Yanda's created. I'm assuming this is kind of like a theme song for Play It Forward, Faya.
Yeah, it's our theme song.
Oh, and are we? Do
This
we
is
have
her.
somebody? Yeah, we have her, and then I think who else is somebody from Sando Guild just dropped drop plug in their own music there. I'm on streamer mode, so I can't see the full name. I know it's somebody extremely familiar. But yeah, go check out all the friends here, because I'm assuming, like, I'm seeing a lot of artists that I would know from the States and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing a lot of Filipino artists yet. So it's time to rep some Filipino pride here.
We gotta bump the numbers up.
That's it. So guys, if you're creating music, you might as well be putting it on Audius, and you might as well be sharing it with the community, like Yanda is there. Shout outs to Yanda. And I guess that's a good segue into kind of what we're doing with this season's Gap Quests, right, Tucker?
Yeah, I think so.
So Thea, why don't we switch over here, and let's switch over and let's check out what we have there. So right now we have our initial quest, which is, hey, listen. Let's click into that. But I'm going to assume it is something to do with listening to music on Audius.
Yeah, so this quest realistically is just listening to music on Audius for 7 days in a row. So the quest is basically to complete another quest within the Audius platform. This is where it is you're completing your listening streak. So every single day, come in, listen to a song, and you're going to earn 1 audio in return inside of our platform. And that's going to give you a chance to get 7 audio at the end of this quest. And then you can take that and use that for other things inside the platform, such as music or anything else in the platform. And it's kind of a good step to go into the next one, where it is to purchase music. And so you can basically earn 1 audio per day, and then you can use that audio to then go and purchase music. And there's really there's no stopping you from, as soon as you get that reward, you can turn it into USDT or any other token and then go buy some music within the platform. You never have to leave the platform. And it all just kind of flows right back and forth. Once you interact with things, start doing stuff, you'll see there's a lot more ways to earn audio inside of Audius to then go around and buy music with. So it's really, really cool, really simple, back and forth, to where the more you do on Audius, the more audio you're going to earn as just a listener, a fan. And the easiest way is just to listen every day, and you're going to get at least 1. And just by being an active listener and an active fan, you're going to earn more just naturally, casually, by being there. And there's a couple others, like complete your profile, upload some tracks, invite your friends, different things that are just super simple that'll get you started on your journey to purchasing songs.
Which is, again, super cool that just by listening to music and stuff, you can get rewarded in this token to then, spend however you want, right? So
right.
I guess the idea preferably is that you want people to spend on their artists, right, that they love, and tip. So Thea, if you could just go back to the Audius platform there and then jump back to Play It Forward, Yanda's music there. So if Thea has earned a token, she could essentially tip, I'm guessing, Tucker.
Yeah.
How would you go about that?
If we go back to her profile, go to Yanda's profile. Yes. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that tip audio button. And one cool thing is you can use your in-app balance. So if you've earned audio from rewards, or you've previously deposited audio from your Solana wallet or something to that effect, you already have tokens in your account. You can send those straight away, right off the bat, no issues, no captcha, nothing of that. Like, let it rip and send your friends some tokens. But right now we don't have any audio tokens. You can use Link by Stripe or a couple other different on-ramps like Coinbase and stuff like that to then fund your account with USDC or audio, and then use the in-app swap to figure that out. But there's multiple ways to go about doing it. The easiest way is to just earn rewards and then use those rewards to then compound into other purchases.
Very, very, very interesting. So as you can see, you could claim rewards, then you would be getting some audio. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, as you said, you could do it. Now, something I was also seeing there, Fea, is when it went to tip there, I guess nobody's tipped Yanda yet. You're going to be getting like an achievement. Is that an achievement where it says like first supporter? Does that stay on Fea's profile?
That's a great question. I'm not positive. I haven't
Because
done one first quarter in a long time.
yeah, I am seeing that there, and I'm just wondering, would that stay on Fea's profile so that Yanda could see like, hey, this is the first person to ever send me a tip, um, and stuff like that. Because that's another cool feature, right?
I don't think it stays, but I'll ask that or send that to the team. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, it's something I obviously they're tracking that, so I don't know. It'd be super cool. We've always talked about this in the gaming space that people love to kind of, flex or say like I was first or, I
But
was in the top 10. So I don't know, maybe an idea for you guys if that's
no,
not already built in.
that's a wonderful idea. It's not already built in. I sent a tip and it didn't populate that. So that's a thank you. That's a good idea.
We're learning stuff on stream there. But yeah, guys, you know, a great way to boost obviously and help people creating there, and the fact that you can earn audio just by listening to music daily is super cool. And then obviously, like, so we one of the quests is to buy 5 tracks. Does that count as buying 5 tracks, or is that different because it's tipping?
It is different. That just tipping is what it sounds like. You're just giving someone some money because you like them, you like their music, you like what they're doing, you want them to keep doing it. Something to that effect. This has nothing to do with the Gap Quest. The Gap Quest are going to be actually purchasing tracks that are put up for sale. So if you go back to the Audius platform, go to the Explore tab, scroll all the way to the bottom here, a little bit more. There we go. And you'll find premium tracks. So this is where you can come in and view every single track on Audius that is for sale or has stems for sale. So the big difference here is, as you can see, we have one that has like a listed USD value on the track page itself. That is where the whole song is for sale by download. So you're going to buy that and you're going to be able to listen to it and download it afterwards. Whereas if it says extra or it doesn't have a dollar sign on it, that's going to mean it has you can listen to it for free, but you can go in and download it for $1 or $2 or something to that effect. The only difference is one you can listen to for free and download is paid. The other is you have to pay for download as well as the stream.
Got it. And obviously, this is not using Audius token. It's just straight up 1 USD.
So that's a good thing to call out here. So if we click on, so it's always going to view as $1. It's all going to be based in the USD currency. But if you click on advanced payment options here, that's going to be a drop down button below the credit cards. You can see this pay with anything option. So if you click on that pay with anything option, it's going to give you a pop-up box on the right side that's going to allow you to choose from any Solana token that's out there. It's not going to populate them all just because the list is so long, but if you start typing any Solana token, it'll be there. You can use any token that is an active SPL token with liquidity to purchase a song. It's going to utilize the Jupiter exchange in the background to then perform the swap to USDC and give that artist their dollars.
Which is something that we didn't touch on either, is you guys are, I'm assuming, running on the Sol blockchain.
Yeah. So there's a little aspect of it that's a little different. We have basically 3 different touch points here. We have the front end, which is what we're using now, and the payments aspect that is on Solana. And then the token originally was created on Ethereum, so mainnet Ethereum ERC20, and that's where the token lives. And then the backend also lives on the EVM space as well, where the music is stored and how all of our nodes talk to each other. So there's a lot of different touch points on the blockchain here for Audius, but in the financial aspects and what people use every day, it's going to be mostly Solana.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming since you guys have been around for a while, you're probably around for the ether gas dilemma, and
that's the reasoning. Yes. So 100%. The main reason that we went to Solana about 3 years ago, or about 4 years ago now, is because of the ETH mainnet gas situation back in the day, where everything was just getting way too out of hand and way too expensive. And nowadays, like, it's still too expensive for a couple bucks a transaction. Mm-hmm. So like it's an everyday fight to figure out like where the cheapest time to do something is on Ethereum, and with Solana we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And obviously, you've seen how much the space has really developed there. There's lots of options now. There's lots of
There
scaling
is.
options that work.
There is, and but when we changed, there weren't. That's the crazy part. Like back, like a lot of things have come up in the past 3 or 4 years that just didn't exist or weren't thought of in the previous years.
Hmm. And again, more kudos to your team and Audius itself for being around for so long, right? Like we've seen so many projects in the space come and go, and the fact that you guys have been around that long and innovating is, another feather in your cap, let's say.
I appreciate it.
Um, Now we are almost at the top of the hour, Tucker. So I just wanted to let's first go off to that last quest there. So we've got one for listening 7 days straight. We've got one for buying tracks. What's this tweet your jam?
That's a great question. I think it's about sharing, purchasing your first track and then sharing it to Twitter or X.
Yes, exactly. So again, all of these are fairly simple and straightforward. Cool. That touches on that, and now people know how to do that. Tucker, anything else that you think we haven't touched on during the stream that you really want to dive into, or have we hit all our points?
I think we've hit all our major points. The only thing that needs to be mentioned is every single account has referral codes. Everybody gets 5. Jump in there, create your account, invite your friends. Both of you get an audio. This could go towards your first track purchase for the quest and everything like that. So don't be scared. Jump in today. Let's listen to some music. You can give me a follow on Audius at Secret Panda 007. I'm that on Twitter as well. Pretty active on Audius. If you want to find some new artists to interact with, check out.
Let's Faye, let's explore that quick. Secret Panda 007. Just in case, you might get an influx of a bunch of Filipino people asking you who's the hottest Filipino artist.
No, but yeah, like I always recommend my profile to go and view like the reposts and like who all I enjoy because I'm fairly active.
Yeah, well, I would assume so, right? So you're probably reposting almost on the daily. So you're the hot ticket, guys. If something starts blowing up on Audius, you're probably first there, right?
I would like to think so. So we'll keep it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, any amazing updates obviously coming out with Audius? Any new features? Any collabs with some maybe new artists that people would know about?
All I can say right now is stay tuned. There's some cool stuff coming. Don't want to spill the beans.
Got it. Okay, so follow Audius on Twitter and be on the lookout for some crazy cool updates. Well, thank you so much, Tucker, for joining us and really walking us through what Audius is. It was definitely a learning experience for myself. Faya, what about you? Any final questions or thoughts for Tucker from what you've learned?
I'm just curious about this tier, but maybe I'll just explore this one too.
If you click on it again and then click the learn more, it should take us to, so if you scroll down a little bit, actually,
I think it's
on rewards. Yeah, there it is. So that's what the tiers do. You're going to get, it's really a cosmetic thing. You get access to everything with the bronze badge, and then you can just add it to your Discord username as well. But you can think of it more as a flare once you get past the bronze badge.
Yeah, I see.
Understandable. And obviously, like you said, there's a lot to do with the audio token. You could stake it. You could try and go for a node. You can just flex on people. You can tip. Like there's a lot to do with it. As you earn it or if you buy more.
Correct.
Cool. Okay, I think that really wraps up everything here from our end. I'm just going to quickly plug before we wrap up some of our events here because we've got a whole heck of a lot going on. Obviously, Gap Season 10 is still live, guys. Definitely go finish some Audius quests. Why wouldn't you? As I've been telling a lot of the community, like, Gap Season 10, there's going to be some big updates around the end of it that you guys are going to want to kind of check out and look for. So this season, it is really, really, really imperative that you complete as many quests as you can. And as I said, you will learn out why that's going to be such a big deal at the end of it. So go complete those Audius quests. If you haven't, Tucker's kind of given you a full walkthrough on the easiest ways to do so. Other than that, we have our friends at YGG obviously doing their weekly events. Go check them out. YGGPH also is having their events, I believe. Fea, is the crypto caravan or fiesta still going on?
Yeah, there's an upcoming one in Bicol.
Okay,
Diyan.
cool. So definitely go check that out. Obviously, they have their weekly Play-Doh Together We Learn and Together We Play events. Check those out as well. Shout out to AC. AC's got some crazy events going on this week too. Actually, I think tomorrow AC has Icy, who's a big friend of ours from Gaming Daily. He's going to come on and join and play Soulforge. I'll be joining him as well. Don't forget, we have our weekend SPL tournaments if you want to participate in that. If you participated in our Sparkball quests last week, obviously the servers are closed for Sparkball now, but if you haven't enrolled or submitted, those close on June 20th. So if you're like me and you haven't submitted yet, get those in before the 20th, because the submissions are actually going to close, which was news to me. So here's your warning to go do that as well. And guild enrollments for those quests for the guild tournament have been fixed as well. So again, thank you so much, Tucker, for joining and enlightening our community. And as I said, hopefully we get some more Filipino creators on there to get some music going for other Filipino peeps. Fea, you're gonna really have to plug that forward.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And as I said, we will catch you in the next stream. Ciao.
Thanks,
We will
y'all.
see you guys later.